Just go ahead.
All right, we'll have to edit that out.
Somebody's panicking over this name.
That's so funny. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for another Modern Agent Blueprint. And before we get into announcing our guest speaker, I just wanted to talk about our upcoming event next week. Nicole and I will be broadcasting live from Cabo, and it's going to be all about how to live your perfect life. So we might be a little bit tipsy on that one. We're just going to give fair warning, but we are super excited about being in Cabo next week with 20 members of our team, so real estate team. So it's exciting. But today, I'm going to let Nicole have the honors of introducing our special guest today. So take her away, Nicole.
Thank you. Well, so I don't really know how I came across Glennda. I think, I don't even know, but I came across her on Instagram and I just fell in love. I think she hears this all the time, but with her accent and her stories and all of that, she's just so engaging and so fun to listen to. And she's got some great pro tips and some great stories on how, things happen in this real estate world. And I thought she would be an absolute perfect guest to have on here today. So we are so, so thankful. I wanted to welcome Glennda Baker, everyone.
Yay. Hey guys, thank you so much for having me, Nicole. I'm excited to be here.
We are so excited. I'm surprised you're not wearing a shirt with stars, to be honest. Oh.
You just can't see the stars. It's a little bit, I am always on brand, Nicole. Always.
I love it. I even tried to make your announcement with stars. So I tried to keep you on brand.
Thank you.
So, one of the things that I noticed about your social media is I've seen you kind of pivot recently with these new, like kind of a newer video where you're kind of speaking with the two cameras and you're speaking like it's like you're being interviewed, but you're just telling stories and it's so engaging. And you can tell by your followers and your likes and comments that these are amazing stories. And I just kind of want to hear about like your journey with video and how it's kind of changed your business. And, we'll ask some questions. We'll let some of the other people on the call ask questions, but I do have a few for you. So I'll let you kind of tell us about you and your market and all that. And then we'll get to the questions.
Awesome sauce. Well, thank you so much. My name is Glennda Baker. I'm a real estate agent in Atlanta, Georgia. I have been selling real estate since Jesus was a baby, for God's sake. So almost 30 years, and I love it. It's not even like a job to me. I wake up every day excited about real estate. About 16 months ago, I started this journey into TikTok. But before that, I had a little series called Posts from the Porsche. And it was a live video series on Facebook. And it's funny, I had never gone live on Instagram until Zillow bought Showing Time. And I was live on Facebook and live on Instagram. And it was Posts from the Porsche. And it was really in the moment. Typically, sometimes it was preaching from the Porsche, but typically it was in the moment. I was at an inspection, or I showed a house, or I had this problem, or that happened. And so it was really just kind of a way for me to like get it out of my system. And I went to a Tom Ferry conference, and a friend of mine, well, he wasn't a friend of mine then, but he is my friend now, Zachary Faust. They showed one of his videos from TikTok, and he had 43,000 views. And I looked at my friend Sergio and I said, if that guy can do video, I can do video. Yeah. And that was in 2020. And so that kind of started my video journey. I take in and consume a lot of content. And so I just kind of looked around at what I liked. And there was a dating coach called Matthew Hussey. And I just kind of loved his style. And I was like, I think I could do this same kind of advice for real estate. So he's giving dating advice, I could give real estate advice. And so that was kind of how it started. And oh, my stars and stripes, I can't even believe. It was funny because a memory came up on my Facebook where I had asked people to follow me on Instagram. So 2 years ago, I had 3,000 followers on Instagram, and I think now maybe 75,000. Yeah. So it's been crazy. The whole journey has just been insane.
Yeah, you blew up. We actually had Zach on our mastermind. Gosh, it's been months ago, but he was awesome. He was so
Yeah.
good. A couple of us had done his like 30-day course. I think Mike on here, he and I had done his like 30-day course, and we were like, oh my God, this is amazing. But like the whole video thing, I think it's brilliant. I mean, I think what you're doing is like you're making everything super relatable. You know, we all have these stories, we all have these experiences, and to be able to either give advice to clients or to potential clients, and then also to other real estate agents, you're really kind of hitting all the market, which is great. I wanted to know, and now of course I forgot my question that I had for you, but I did. One of the questions I had was, how have you seen between increasing all your videos and your business, how have you seen your business change since you've been doing video? Are you getting a lot of new clients or anything from that, or even more, probably more referrals?
Both. So think about it. I've posted 391 videos in the last 474 days. So I'm posting very consistently every single day between 6 and 9 a.m. Eastern, and different videos on different platforms. So different for LinkedIn, different for Facebook, different for Instagram, different for TikTok. And yes, buyers and sellers, and so we actually had to separate it because I had everything flowing. So I color code everything. So like TikTok, TT, IG, you know, that kind of stuff. So where did the business come from? So, but then I was getting agent referrals from TikTok and Instagram. So then I had to go back and recode everything. So I have everything coded buyer and seller through TikTok or Instagram, social media, but I have it defined which one they came from. And we always ask, what was it that prompted you to call me? Like what prompted the call today? Because, you know, remember, I've been selling real estate forever. So
Right.
Back in the olden days, it was really easy. Oh, hey, how'd you get my name? Oh, Susie gave me your name, or I saw your name on the sign, or I got your postcard. It was really easy to define where the lead came from. Today, it's kind of a layering effect. So they saw your video, then they saw your sign, then they got your postcard. So we always ask, what was the trigger for you calling me today? And so then we code it. But from buyer and seller business, $240,000, $250,000. But then from agent to agent referrals, about 180. So huge, huge, huge impact to my business.
Yeah, that's amazing. We talk a lot about how video is key, and you are kind of like the pinnacle of that. Like we reference you often, to be honest, because I think what you're doing is great, and you're touching on so many different levels, whether it be you're telling a funny story, your big ass house story and all that, which kind of blew up. I saw you have like swag with it now. But these funny stories that resonate and they make a lot of sense. And then all of a sudden now you're gaining all this momentum, and now it's just like crazy. So I had another question from Nikki on here, and she wanted to know, what tips do you have to successfully acquire leads from video?
So you always want to give like 3 ways to get the most money for your house, 3 improvements, 5 this. So you always want to give those tips. We find that when you do the tip video, that's really when the consumer engages. So anytime that you can give some advice, that's when you are creating reliable, relevant, and relatable content. And that's really what you're going for, is creating that content that, number one, somebody can bite into, and number one, that causes them to take action.
Right. Yeah. I think when you're more value driven instead of sales driven, you're going to automatically just start pulling in the people.
Yeah.
It's amazing. What do you think? You're not really doing your stories from your Porsche, right? I'm sorry, I can't remember what you called it now, but are you going to go back to anything like that? Or are you going to keep it with this new style that you're doing?
Well, we still do the lives, and it's either posts from the Porsche live from the living room, opinions from the office, or dish from the dining room. And it was so funny because I did one from the kitchen the other day, and I asked my followers, like, what should we call the kitchen talk? And a lot of people said kitchen talk, and a lot of people said keeping up from the kitchen. I liked that a lot. Keys to real estate from the kitchen. So we're definitely still doing the live video because that really pulls people in that are not your followers. Whenever you go live, it really pulls in a different audience. So we're doing more live video, and some of it is posts from the Porsche, but I'm moving so fast right now, and the thoughts are coming, you know, sometimes when I'm in the kitchen, sometimes when I'm in the living room. So we are still doing live. And I think that if you are new to video, that is really, really, really a great place to start, because you can't delete it. I mean, you can delete it after you film it, but while you're filming it, if you mess up the words, it doesn't matter. You just got to keep going. So it's not like you can stop and erase and redo and, oh, my hair is not perfect. I mean, my number one live video, I have rollers in my hair because I went to an appointment and I was running behind. I had to drop a kid off here, drop a kid off there. And I was still in my rollers, and something hit me, and I was like, okay, I got to get this out now, because if I don't, then I'll forget it and it won't be as impactful. So I was like, y'all just don't even look at the rollers, like just pretend you don't see them. And that is probably my most watched live video.
I love that. I think those videos, so that goes to show you, one, that you don't have to be ready to do a video. That's the one thing I think everyone gets stuck on is, oh, I'm not ready. My hair's not done. My makeup's not done. I'm not dressed. My background looks like crap. I mean, this is a virtual background, right? Like my kitchen doesn't look like this. But you know, like, I think that's the biggest thing is like kind of just doing it. And when you're live, you're doing it.
Yeah.
I have a question about your lives though. So do you have any sort of like, strategy? Do you go live at a certain point, or it's just like this idea hits you, you go live?
This idea hits me, I go live. So nothing in my life is scripted. So it's really kind of crazy because I am an IC on the DISC test. I am an expressive analytical, which really means I'm bipolar, because that is a very unusual combination. So none of my videos are scripted. I come up with the ideas throughout the month. I keep a note in my phone, and then we go and knock them off. And literally Denver tees him up. He's like, okay, here's the note. You said the Zestimate, or you said Credit Karma and Zestimate. So I'll send him like these keywords, and I'm like, oh, okay. So Credit Karma is to your credit score what the Zestimate is to your house value. And so your actual house value. So literally he just tees it up, and then I go off the cuff and talk about it. And for me, that works really, really well. Some people I understand need a script, but for me, talking about it off the cuff, I mean, I've been selling real estate for 29 years. If I can't talk shit about real estate backwards and forwards, I need to be fired.
No, it's true. And I think that's where your authenticity comes from. It's because you're not scripting, you're not reading a teleprompter, you're just telling a story. And that's where I think people can really relate to you. And I think that's why so many people are drawn to you. I mean, we've been talking about you coming on this thing, and, you know, we have all these people are like, oh my God, I can't wait. And we're going to be watching live, and I mean, you just have this, you know, vibe or like this essence to you that I think people are really drawn to. And I think it's because you're authentic. So I think that's great. Okay, questions here. We have a whole bunch in the chat here. So Paula said, I love that you have tons of experience to draw from. What do you suggest for a newer agent to do video, since we don't really have the experience to draw from?
Okay, I love this question because I feel like that new agents feel unequipped to be able to do video because they don't have the experience, they don't have the stories. But what you do have is a fresh perspective, and you don't know everything, just like the consumer doesn't know. So as you're learning through the process, that is a great opportunity for you to talk through that process with the consumer. Because, okay, let's say you're brand new. And I remember when I was brand new, don't tell anybody, like I didn't know how to fill out the contract. So I sat down with the attorney who handled our office's closings. And I said, walk me through the contract, explain it to me. And then I was able to explain it to my buyer. Well, today, if I were brand new, I would go to my attorney and I would say, walk me through the contract. Walk me through what are the biggest things that you see that cause the most problems. And then that way you can do a video about in the contract, the earnest money says it's due this time. And if you don't provide the proof of the earnest money, the seller has the right to terminate the contract. So that's what I'm saying is like if you're new, you can teach your audience as you are learning. And it's such a fresh perspective because for me, like all of it just kind of rolls off its old hat. I don't even think about that the consumer doesn't know that the earnest money deposit gets credited at closing. But most buyers don't realize. They're like, well, where does this money go? And why do I need to deposit it? And why does it need to be that much? And how much is it typically? And what happens when I lose it? So you literally could do like a whole series. I mean, you could probably do 10 videos on the earnest money deposit.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. I mean, I feel like that's how I learn too. Like, you know, when somebody walks me through something, so then you feel like empowered where then you're then teaching your client the thing you just learned. And I think that's super, super smart. I love that. And, you know, to bounce off that a little bit too, you know, these newer agents, there's a million different things that you can talk about. You can literally, you know, this is the best advice I ever had. If you're trying to figure out content, if you think about a subject as a book, and then you break that book into chapters, like the contract, or like even an inspection, you know, or how the process goes. And then you just start breaking that down by chapter. And then each chapter, you go into what that certain thing is. I mean, you can do that for literally anything in this business. Okay, next question. Do you ask permission from the homeowners to film, or do they usually not mind?
Well, I don't do any filming. Well, so y'all listen to this. This is hilarious. So I do shit I see in the street. So, and it's my Instagram story. I don't ever post it on my page, but I do an Instagram story. So if you watched my story over the weekend, y'all, you would not believe the engagement over the weekend. So I did the little polls in my Instagram stories and I took pictures, oh my God, of this POS renovation. It was horrible. And so, I mean, it was so bad. And I took pictures, but I never identified the address. I didn't do anything in the picture that would let anybody know where the house was. And I just said like, what do you notice first? That the oven is way over there, that the lights are over the cooktop, and that the dishwasher's misplaced, that kind of stuff. So number one, I don't ask for permission when I'm doing stuff like that because I'm not identifying the house or anything like that. And I don't shoot in any house that I don't have permission. I don't shoot video in any house I don't have permission in. So the only thing that I would do that I don't have permission in are photos and the shit I see in the streets. But that's hilarious. And I've gotten so much engagement on that, y'all. Oh my God, it's hilarious.
I think I think some people get scared that, you know, if they film something, the other agent's going to see it and then they're going to get mad or whatever. I think a majority of us take videos in houses when we see weird stuff. I mean, we see weird shit all the time.
Well, and the thing about it is that like whenever anybody comes into my listing, they typically ask me if they can shoot video, and I absolutely want anybody who comes into my listings to shoot video because I'm not so ego driven that I don't think that whether you have 100 followers or 100,000 followers, you may have a follower that would buy my listing. So I'll give you a great example. So this girl came on to my broker open. This agent came to my broker open. She shoots video. She posted on her Instagram story. Her client sees it and buys my listing. Her client didn't see my fabulous or my photos. She saw this girl's this video from her broker open. So for me, I love when people shoot my stuff.
Yeah, it's free advertising. I mean,
absolutely.
Totally. All right. Next question was, let's see. How do you get over the initial anxiety of posting videos?
I have got really bad news for you. Whatever you look like, it is what you look like in real life. However you sound, it is how you sound in real life. So you've got to just come to the grips with the fact that it is what it is. It doesn't, I mess up the words, like I say something wrong. It doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't matter. In all honesty, people want the content. Don't be so consumed with, they're looking for something wrong, or I don't feel comfortable doing it. Just start talking, but find where you're super comfortable. Are you super comfortable with buyers? Are you super comfortable with listings? Do you like first-time home buyers? Do you like VA home buyers? Where is your genius? And start there. Start on the platform where the people already know, like, and trust you, like where your mom, your sister, your brother, your best friends are, because they're not going to say anything. They're not going to call you Karen. They're not going to hate on you. So start in an area, on a platform, in a zone where you feel super comfortable, and talk about something that you feel comfortable with, and just kind of practice, put in the reps there, because it's just like going to the gym. If you're really good with your arms, you always start with your arms, you get the momentum, you get behind you, and then you start doing your legs that you hate to do. So for me, it's the legs and then the arms. But anyway, so that's kind of what I would say.
I love that. Okay, somebody said, real quick here, somebody asked, going back to live, how long is a live video and what platform?
Oh, great question. I love Facebook Live. I love Instagram Live. And how long is too long? I will tell you, on my live videos, typically about 8 minutes. 8 minutes is a sweet spot for that live video. But y'all, I talk so much. A lot of times I will go over that, but I know that the average watch time on my live videos, that sweet spot is 8 minutes, and that is perfect.
I never even really thought about that. I feel like my lives are like 2 minutes, and I'm like, okay, awkward. I'm done.
Yeah, no, you really, and this is the thing, is that people will jump on and comment, and that's when you want to engage them, is when they're jumping on and they're commenting. And if you're worried that nobody's going to jump on, call 5 of your friends and say, hey, I'm going to do a live video at 12 o'clock Eastern on Tuesday. And I'd really love for you to kind of jump on, watch me, maybe ask some questions. Then, as long as one person asks, then everybody feels like it.
Yeah, we did. Maria and I did that before. We had to go live, and she was mega anxious. So we hopped on together, and it just takes the stress out of it a little bit when you feel like you're talking to friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Julie had a question. Who is helping you film the videos, and do you have an assistant?
Well, I do have an assistant, but she doesn't do anything with the videos. But I do have somebody who shoots the videos, and that's Denver. Denver is actually a predator. So he produces, shoots, and edits. And I found him on Instagram. And I have a video called Glenda's Guide to Video that Denver and I shot. So it's glendasguidetovideo.com. And that, Denver and I sit down, we chop up exactly how the day rolls out, all of the format that we use. And then we also have 100 video content ideas for real estate agents.
Ooh, I love that. It's Glenda's Guide to Video.
glendasguidetovideo.com.
All right, I put that in the chat for you guys. Who else has questions? I know you guys have a lot of questions. Lee, did you have anything that you wanted to ask? I know we talked about this before.
Well, my one question was how you got started, but obviously you told me you were at the Tom Ferry event. And tell me about how your viewers and likes grew, because I look at a lot of people and they start doing video and they quit because they'll do 4 or 5, and there's some, like, they say, oh, only 5, or I only got 5 or 6 likes or 20 views, and then they just quit because they don't think, it's not growing. So how long did it take you before you really started exploding?
So I started in October of 2020. I had about 122 followers and on TikTok, and then it just grew gradually. 5 likes, 10 likes, 15 likes. And I put out 2 videos a week. I was going to post on Tuesday and Thursday. I'd shot 8 videos that first time. And then as I got better at shooting the video, I could shoot more videos. And then as I got, and now I can shoot like 40 to 50 in that same time span that I could only shoot 8. And the more videos I would shoot, the more videos I had to post. But I put it in my calendar. I set a cadence to do it. And then what was the question? I totally forgot, Lee. Sorry.
It was just like, how you, how long did it take you before you really established yourself? Like how many videos and how many months did it take until you started getting
sorry. How many
hundreds
videos and how many
views?
months? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was totally like, where was I going?
Oh, that's okay. I asked like
So,
3 questions in one, so.
I know, and that kind of threw me, but that's okay. We'll give it to you. It's Tuesday. Anyway, okay. So then, and I had a couple videos that got some good traction, and I had I was getting 10, 20, 30,000 followers, and that was really good. And then in May of 2021, it was Mother's Day week. I was at the beach, so I still posted my videos, and I post this video, and I leave to get ready, and then I go to breakfast, and Denver sends me a message, and he says, hey, the video you posted this morning is really getting some traction. It's got 120,000 views. And I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. Cause that was the first time. I mean, it'd only been up an hour or 2. And then I go to breakfast, and I'm having breakfast with my friend, Jimmy Burgess in Destin. And Denver is blowing up my phone. And an hour and a half later, it's got 350,000 views.
Wow.
And it's got tons of comments. And I'm like, wow. And that was once upon a time I sold a big ass house. And so I think that video, it was number one, relatable, because because I had pissed my money away. How many times have you just pissed your money away? So it was relatable, it was real. And that video was when I realized that story time was definitely something that my audience wanted to hear. That was something different that people were not doing. They didn't need real estate porn. They didn't need pictures of houses. They didn't need videos of houses. They wanted insider information. And that was really where I learned that. And after that video, it was just like, they couldn't get enough. And as I have been consistent in my posting, it has not stopped. So we've grown in 2022, my presence has grown about 21. And across my video catalog, I have about 157,000 views a day.
Wow. Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember at what point I found you, but I definitely remember the big ass house. And I was like, I love this lady. Like, she's freaking hilarious. Yeah. And then they just kept getting better and better. And, they're like, your videos are great. Let's see. Somebody asked, curious about your real estate business. Are you an independent agent? Do you have a team? Will you ever have a team, or have you ever had a team?
So I actually had my own company for 11 years, where I had as many as 18 people on my team. And I sold the assets of my company to Berkshire Hathaway back in 2016, and worked for Berkshire Hathaway for 4 years, and then went to another brokerage. So I run a small team, all female, me, Evelyn, and Elizabeth Sell. And then on the back end, I have Larzelle, Victoria, and Jewel, and each person has a defined role. If you are looking to start a team or create a team, to me, nothing is more important to me than the DISC test, because it gives me intel, number one, on where that person is going to excel the most, what is their natural and adaptive personality, and where I can help them reach their goals. So I depend very heavily on the DISC test. And then also I have a very strong gut instinct, and I follow that. But I think that it's really critical when you're building a team that you kind of understand, like, what is your vision? Where are you going? Are you handling the listings? Are they going to handle listings? Are you the team leader, the rainmaker? Are you still involved? Are you getting out of production? All that kind of good stuff. So there's a lot of things that go along with the team, but I've had a team, actually, I've had a team since 2000. I was one of the first agents in my company at that time to create a team. And I've always only had an all-female team, except for one brief period where I had Clarence, who was awesome. I had Clarence on my team for about 6 months, but other than that, it's always been all female.
I love it. I love that. All right. Somebody just asked, do you think that one platform produces better results than the other? Well, that's a good one.
So I think that it depends on what you're trying to do. Are you, because if you just started a TikTok account, you know, are you going to be on there every single day? Where are you comfortable? You're going to get the most results from whichever platform you pick and you commit yourself to. So for me, I pick a platform a quarter and go hard on that. So in October of 2020, I picked TikTok. And then in January, February of 2021, I did Instagram. And then Q2 of 2021, I did Clubhouse. So I really become proficient at a platform per quarter and put it into my repertoire. And then that way I become an expert on all of them. And it's really easy for me to post across every platform because I'm proficient in the posting of it.
Do you, oh, you know what? Cooper said she found you on Clubhouse, and that's actually, I think I found you there. That's where I found you, actually. Question about that though. So now when you say you go hard, like in IG, are you then cross-posting to other platforms, the same video or different videos?
Always different videos, always different videos, always different videos. You wouldn't go to a steakhouse and order seafood, and you wouldn't go to Coast in DC and order a steak. So why would you post the same video on Instagram that you post on TikTok? Because it's two completely different audiences for the most part. So Facebook, they know, like, and trust me. Those are past clients, friends from high school, my friends and family. That's my inner circle, is Facebook. Instagram, they know of me. Those people, they've heard of me, they've crossed my path. You know, they know me from this person, knows me from that person, so they know of me. And TikTok, they have no idea who I am. Literally, I came up on their For You page and they were like, oh, wow, she's got some interesting stuff to say. So why would you post the same content across all platforms? And by changing it up just slightly, I mean, they all get recirculated everywhere at some point, but you wouldn't go to my Instagram if you could see it on TikTok. But the TikTok people know. So I did one video and I said, hey, TikTok, it's not really easy for me to DM or message with you here on TikTok. If you want to talk to me, follow me on Instagram and ask me questions over there, because I can answer you easily in the DM. 13,000 new followers that day.
Wow.
In 1 second. So for me, it's much easier to communicate on Instagram than it is on TikTok. But TikTok, just the algorithm is pushing it out to so many people. It's hard to beat it.
Right. Yeah, totally agree with that. Bruce said, do you drive residual revenue from your videos?
Unpack that question for me.
Bruce, you're going to have to come off mute and ask your question, sir. Where'd he go? Is he even on here anymore? Hold on.
No, I think he is. I think what he was saying is, do you earn any residual income off because you're getting so many views?
Well, if you're talking about residual income from TikTok, that is a no. I'm not getting paid for views from TikTok. Am I making income from other platform or from other sources, just from real estate? Yes, I am. So I have collaborations, public speaking, stuff like that.
Got it.
That was the question. Sorry, I found my mute.
Okay, Bruce. So did I answer the question, what you were looking for?
If you got 175,000 hits on YouTube, right? And are you using that platform not just as a branding, but as a revenue source, as a residual revenue source?
Yeah, so we're making revenue typically off of brands and collaborations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, somebody else, Cooper asked, do you have a content creator account? Cooper, what do you mean?
No, I know what he means. A content creator account on TikTok.
Yeah, you already answered the question, and it's
Okay.
a female.
Okay, great. And Cooper, really interesting. I actually have my own TikTok liaison. So somebody who works for TikTok, and they actually analyze more data than I have the ability to analyze. And what they talk to me about is like the length of video and what I should be pushing out. And they really go very, very granular on the analytics of it. That's how I know I have 157,000 views a day across my video catalog. But what they do is they tell me, okay, so the story time is doing better, or the ones that are 46 seconds versus 53 seconds. And so that's really cool. So for me on TikTok, 46 seconds is really like the sweet spot. If it's 46 seconds or less, then 57% of the viewers watch it start to finish multiple times.
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome.
I've noticed, did they honestly talk to you about more of your original content and pushing out more of your stories?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
everybody wants the stories. The
Yeah.
stories perform typically better than anything because they're unique. And, you know, I'll just tell y'all, just between us, don't tell anybody. I was on Clubhouse and this girl said, oh, Glennda doesn't come up with her content. Denver comes up with her content. You want to talk about somebody's head spinning around, snot flying out of their nose. I'm nearly lost my mind. And, you know, Denver made the comment, how would I be able to come up with the content? I never sold the wrong house. I didn't know a real estate agent could sell the wrong house. I've never driven up to a house with a canoe, the fire department and a canoe in the front yard. And so the story time really, it gives people that behind the scenes kind of opportunity to see the real world. And, you know, I think that people are exhausted from scripted reality. And when you're talking about anything that, you know, showing real estate porn like Zillow does, like anybody can do that. You don't need to have unique knowledge. Whereas the story time really gives you unique knowledge, and people love that. And they feel like that they're like behind the scenes, like they're hearing a secret, and that's what they love.
Yeah, I think that's so true. I totally true. And even being a fairly newer agent, you see a lot of stuff that, you know, I mean, I've never, you know, sold the wrong house at this point, you know,
There's still time.
There's still plenty of time. But, you know, we've had our mistakes. You know, I accidentally bid over for my client in a counter. You know, we were going back and forth on a counter and I said one price. It was not what my client said. And we just pretended like it never happened. But, you know, either way, Katie had a question. She said, would you recommend someone starting out to just dive in and be authentic and share your story? Yes.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And this is the thing, take them on the ride with you. You want to, they want to be included. Like they want to be part of the story. Like I have this one client right now, and every time that something crazy happens, she goes, please tell me this is going to be a TikTok. Please tell me this is, like, it was so funny. We have this one guy, he's the scrap metal king. And she says to me, she goes, please tell me Mr. Scrap Metal King is going to be a TikTok. I mean, they want to be a part of the storyline. And, you know, this lady, it was so funny. She knows tons of realtors. And I sit down with them and I'm like, how did you find me? They found me from a water bottle 6 years ago that I donated to the high school for Teacher Appreciation Day. And she goes, but I have to tell you, your social media is insane. She goes, I just read the comments. She goes, the comments are crazy. People come to you, they ask all kinds of questions. She goes, they want to work with you. And I said to her, I said, there isn't any other agent that can give you the exposure on social media that I can. And she's like, I believe it. Sign us up. So you've got to really, you know, go hard on it. People want that.
Yeah, I think, you know, I just did a training where they were talking about charisma hacking and how, and if you guys haven't followed McCall Jones, you have to. She's amazing. And she was talking about charisma hacking and how you can't fake authenticity. You cannot, no matter how hard you try. Angie was there. I know a couple of my people are on there that they've seen her, and she, oh my gosh, it was amazing, because you can't be one personality. Like Glennda, if you tried to all of a sudden now be like Zach, you're total, like Zachary Frost, you're so different that nobody would believe that was you, or vice versa if he tried to do the same thing that you do. Like being authentic and being yourself and original, that's what draws people to you. So absolutely check her out. She's amazing.
Yeah, I just put that in my notes. And you know, Zachary and I, we did a podcast together with Tom. And one of the things that he said, which I was so flattered by, was the stickiness of my audience, like the loyalty of them. And so no lie, some guy says something in the comments, and you know, that I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to her. She's a quack. She doesn't know what she's talking about. And there are 140 comments below that of people just totally jumping on him. And, you know, and Zachary said, you know, that you're creating loyal audience following when you don't even have to come after the people. You don't even have to respond to the people that are giving you a hard time. Your audience is doing it for you. And I do have a ton of engagement. So TikTok says that most creators have 9% engagement in their comments, in their audience. Mine is actually 31% of the people that view, comment, like, or share.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. The big ass house has over 60,000 shares.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's amazing. So you when did you say you started doing video like this? Like being really
October
consistent?
2020. October 7th, 2020 was the first video.
In just over a year, you have exploded your business just with video.
Yes.
On free platforms.
Yes.
So for all of you who are doubting video works, here's your sign. Who else has questions? I know we got about 15 or 10 more minutes. So who else has questions? I know that everyone is like burning to know more. Come out of the woodwork.
Here's your chance, everyone.
And I also saw some really nicely produced videos as well, you know, kind of like video walkthroughs of some of your listings. So I imagine you're doing that as well. And how impactful is that? I know you said like anybody can do like post pictures or post videos, but certainly that's impactful as well. And where do you post those for the most part? I forgot where I saw them, like whether it was Facebook or Instagram, but those are beautiful too.
Thank you, Julie. So I will tell you the best or the best impact that I have had from house videos has been 18,000 views, 88 showings, 8 offers, and 1 new homeowner. That video, I'm a Gangster Too, to trending music, that is really the sweet spot for the houses, is showing how you, like a case study, like how you sold it. So this is how many views it had online. This is how many showings. This is how many offers, 1 new neighbor, and 2, and Elizabeth co-listed that one with me, 2 badass real estate agents. So I think that we do some produced house videos, but for the most part, those house videos are more case study perspective. Did that answer your question?
Mhm. Yeah.
I think that's
Super.
helpful when you put all that info out there. It just helps it also helps educate people on the market too. And what
Yeah,
people do.
absolutely.
And it sounds, so it's probably helpful to choose your audio wisely too. I think, what you're putting it to, what music you're putting it to. A lot of times you see these produced ones and it's just kind of that like jazzy kind of, background elevator music, but I gotta imagine that the music matters.
Oh yeah, that soft jazz real estate video is very 2015.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, we did one to Justin Bieber's Peaches, and that one has been huge. I mean,
I would too if I was in Georgia.
yeah, exactly. I mean, and for me, like I just saw one this morning with some audio, and they didn't really do a house video. He did something and that's one thing is I pull content not just from real estate, but from many different industries. I don't just look at real estate stuff. And I want to say it was a car dealership, and that guy had taken some trending song and had shown this Tesla, and I was like, oh, it just felt so sexy. And I was like, you know what, I could do that to a house video, like something really sleek. And it was trending music, and I love it. I don't typically use trending music, but when I do, it's typically to a house video.
Yeah.
Jess said, should I have a separate TikTok account for my realty videos and info, or mix it up with my personal account?
Well, I have everything on my personal account. I have everything on my personal Insta, my personal Facebook, my personal TikTok, because people do business with people. People buy people, not product, period. And I think that they're buying into you. And I think that as real estate agents, and I think that this is a huge mistake that real estate agents make, is that you think they're buying a house. First, they're buying you, which is an intangible asset. They're buying your knowledge. They're buying your skill. They're buying your expertise. They're buying into that. And it is with that skill set that you're then selling them a product. People don't buy product, they buy people first. So
Yeah.
I would say put it on your personal account, but you do whatever you want to.
Paula is asking a question from Facebook Live, and she says, how much time do you spend each day on your social media?
2 hours. 2 hours. There's a 2-hour block, period, because I love it, and I would spend 8 hours. So I have a 2-hour block. So this is kind of how my day starts. I wake up at 5:50 to 6:10 every day. I don't know why, without an alarm. Okay. And the first thing that I do is respond to comments and DMs. I get the juices flowing. And then I post my video, and then I start the construction zone. Shower, hair, makeup, wardrobe, Jesus Christ, everything. I mean, this is not easy, y'all. Then after I do that, I jump back in, even before I check my email, I jump back in to my social media and engage. And I respond to comments, I send people private messages, I stalk my clients, I consume. Okay. So I've got an hour before I get up and get going. And then I've got an hour once I sit down. And then even maybe what I'll do is my lead follow-up is almost in that social media. So I'm checking all of my clients to see what's going on with them, making sure they're happy, making sure I haven't missed anybody's birthday, or somebody bought a dog, or somebody's kid graduated from kindergarten, and making sure that all of that. I have a very robust gifting program and client experience program. So I'm always like stalking them. But as far as like creating content, posting content, all the creation is done 1 day a month, and all of the posting is done within 2 hours a day.
I love it. The construction zone. That's amazing.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Hey, I did wonder how you got your curls, but now I know it's rollers.
Oh, you have no idea. So I blow it, and then I wand it, and then I roll it. I mean, I'm in the South, for God's sakes. I mean, you know, big hair is like really big down here, like everything else. But anything, this hair, and I had this crazy hair like my grandma, and it just takes everything that I have to, I mean, I had to come back in and rewind it for you guys because I was out in the humidity. So I hope it looks nice and fresh.
You look beautiful every time.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Maria wants to know, what do you use to film your videos? Do you use an iPhone? Do you have a microphone? Do you have a gimbal?
I don't have a gimbal. I have a little mount in my car, or I'll lean it up against something. I don't have anything fancy like that. For the videos on TikTok, Denver shoots those with his equipment. But you can shoot with your iPhone just about anything. And then the light that I use is called Daylight, and it's from Walmart. And I like it better than the Ring because you can't see it in my eyes. Where the Ring, if it's a close-up, you can see it in my eyes.
So just use like a lamp?
No, it's called Daylight. It's it's square. It's a square light, and I got it from Walmart, and I found somebody suggested it on TikTok, so I bought it, and I love it. It's 1,000 times better than that Ring light.
I'm writing this down right now.
Yeah, Daylight from Walmart, and it's square.
I love
It's
it.
almost, and the reason that I like it is that the light is diffused.
Yeah, sometimes they can be very blinding.
Well, yeah,
and if they
blinding, but they
wash
show
out-
up in your eyeball and it bothers me.
Yeah, you can always tell when somebody has a ring light.
Yeah.
Do you use a microphone? If you're just like shooting a casual video, you're not miking up, right?
I am not.
And
I'm not. And anytime I use the microphone, I use the Blue Yeti microphone. I got it off Amazon. I'm going to say it was 120 bucks.
Maria has already found the link to your light, and it is in the chat right now.
Awesome.
Maria is on top of it as always.
Glennda, did I hear you say you were giving your schedule? Did I hear you say you batch everything in one day a month that gives you all those videos to post in the morning?
Correct.
Okay.
So I start at, so it's an 11-hour day typically. I start at 8:10 and I typically finish around 7 p.m.
Like on a Saturday or Sunday?
No. I always shoot
You
during
pick
the
one,
week.
you'll pick a work day and make
Yeah,
that.
I pick a work day.
Okay.
And Denver comes to my house. I love shooting at my home. I can change my clothes. I have my construction zone here. I can freshen my makeup, put on my lipstick, and it's my space. Like, this is my space. I can do whatever I want to do. I can say whatever I want to say. It's my space. And so for me, that just works out best. And we shoot all the videos 8:30 to 11:30. We shoot, then we take 11:30 to 12:30. We take a lunch break. And then from 12:30 to 1, we frame out the afternoon and then shoot 1 to 7.
Wow. It's like a well-oiled machine over there.
It is. It is.
I love it. Okay, we are almost finished here. Last questions. Does anybody have anything else? Did I miss anything in the chat? I don't know. If you have a question, pop off mute real quick and ask your question.
How is, let me ask a question. So how has it changed, like the money that you spend, like before TikTok and social media? Were you spending money to help you get listings and stuff, or was it, I mean, I know you probably had a big referral network because you've been in business for a long time, but how has that changed your overall outlay of money? Because you're getting so much, you know, I guess what would be the word? You're getting so much attention and.
Like how much
From
are you
doing the
asking, like
social
what
media.
marketing? Like
Yeah, you don't have to pay.
Yeah, you don't have to really pay for
Send-
marketing right
Yeah,
now.
you're still sending postcards or paying for any leads or anything like that. There's everything organic from your posting and like.
Y'all
Lisa
sit
said.
down. I took all of my purchased lead budget. So all of my Zillow, all of my realtor.com, and all of my Google pay-per-click. Is that what it's called? PPC. I took all of the money I was spending on those 3. And I said, I am taking that money and I'm putting it toward video. And it was the best business decision I ever made. Ever made, was to take the money from those bullshit leads that I was buying and literally produce video, put it out there. It is rather than me chasing, pissing the money away, not knowing what was going to come. I invested in my brand. I invested in myself, and I created content that will live forever.
I love it. So, I mean, what you did was you said, I don't want I don't want to chase this business. I want people to raise their hand and say, I want to work with you. And you don't have to try, because they already like you. They already know you.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about it is that online leads, buying online leads, that is the crack for real estate agents. It is the hit it and quit it drug of real estate agents. It is unpredictable, and you always need to pay more to get more. Whereas when you're doing video, it's literally like you going to the gym and working out and taking care of yourself. And it's an investment in yourself that repays itself to you every day without you having to hit it, quit it. If I had every penny I had ever spent with Zillow, I would be sitting on a beach in Tahiti.
I have a follow-up question on that. So when you say you put the money into video, is it buying equipment, or were you at first paying for, like, you know how you can promote the ads on Facebook? Or
no, it's with Denver having somebody produce the content. So literally all of my video, all of the money I spend on video is spent with Denver producing and shooting and editing the content.
Okay, thanks.
That's it.
Speaking of Denver, Scott wants to know, how does he find a Denver in his market?
Instagram. That's where I found Denver. I found Denver. Some agent had posted a video he did. I didn't look at his website. I didn't vet him. I didn't ask him anything except how much is it going to cost me. That's it. And then I took the money that he said it was going to cost me. Took 6 months of it. I put it in a separate account. I was committed to him for 6 months. I was going to pay him for 6 months of video, come hell or high water. And that's what I did. The first shoot was a disaster, complete and total disaster. And it didn't matter. I was going to do it. I was committed to the 6 months.
I love it. So
yeah,
is he just a video editor or producer? Like, what is his title?
He's a predator. He produces, shoots, and edits.
Produces, shoots, and edits. All right. Nina wants to know, what is the cost of having a professional shoot your videos, weekly, monthly cost?
It depends on where you are, and it depends on how many he shoots. I don't disclose anything about how much I paid Denver. It's not fair to him.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, and it varies too. I mean, you could find somebody who will do a video for $30, and then you'll find
it depends on the market where you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, Glennda, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We love your videos. Keep it up. You are an inspiration to all of us. And now we can all run out and get our lights and take our disc test and do all of our things and be you in these other areas.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys having me on. If I can answer any questions, don't hesitate to DM me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.